Yeah, let's go ahead and get started here. Today's lecture, of course, is the Nez Perce Discover Lewis and Clark. And the reason why I put the words in that form or in that order is because oftentimes when it's taught, the subject is taught in our schools, it's Lewis and Clark discovering the Nez Perce. So it's just kind of looking at it from a different perspective. And of course, one of the things that I hope to do in this class is to cause us to think about American history through the eyes of Indigenous people. And so we'll spend some time today looking at the Nez Perce and specifically looking at the Lewis and Clark expedition. This story, of course, is a story that you are familiar with, at least to a certain degree. You've probably covered this story to a much greater extent as far as the Lewis and Clark expedition throughout just whether it be in high school or even at the college level. I want to begin by quoting a Nez Perce individual, and this is a quote that comes from modern time. I think W. Otis Half Moon said these words. There's a video on YouTube where this is coming from about maybe 15, 20 years ago. And he says this, he's reflecting on Lewis and Clark and his people, because his people have this important history during that expedition or as part of that expedition. He says, years upon years ago, way before Lewis and Clark, that we had prophecy songs. We had prophecy songs that came up and told about these creatures that even talked about the Bible as well. And they talked about the coming of these things to our people, the Nez Perce. And it was a very powerful belief, the songs, the prophecy songs that were given to our ancient people. And they talked about coming to our country and taking over the land, and they talked about these race of people that would put fences all over the land and make lines across Mother Earth and even make lines in the sky. And they predicted all these things, these old prophecy songs, way before Lewis and Clark. So they had an idea about these creatures already, but yet it was kind of something that was very unknown. I think this quote I find interesting for a number of different ways. On one, it is a Nez Perce's recalling of the prophecies of his people from long ago, right? This is something that according to a Half Moon, that the prophets within his own community had talked about this time when there would be a people coming to his land, a people who take over his land, even prophecies about the Bible, right? The coming of Christianity into his land. This is something that I want to just kind of ground the lecture today and the study today with the Nez Perce and the Lewis and Clark. That is, before even Lewis and Clark ever got anywhere near their community in the early 1800s, the people had prophecies about them. That is, the coming of individuals into their land and doing certain things.